KRXQ and KRXQ HD1, Sacramento, California's rock station. 98 Rock presents a bunch of 80s crap. It's Flux Capacitor.
Oh, no!
All right, good afternoon. What's shaking? PM checking in for a brand new edition of Flux Capacitor. With a special edition of the show today, I'm actually going to have a guest here in the studio. Aaron Leigh, the bass player in the legendary band Y&T, will join me in just a few minutes right here on 98 Rock. The show begins with Motley Crue. 98 Rock, California's rock station, Flux Capacitor on a Sunday. I'm Pat Martin. Special edition of the show. I've never once had a guest on this particular show. But today, we're going to talk to my buddy Aaron Leigh.
Well, thanks for having me, Pat.
This is a great honor.
Oh, this is great. I feel like I just saw you last weekend. But
I think you did.
Yeah. Great to see you again.
We were at your gig at, what was that place called? The Infusion Tap Room.
Yes, in Lincoln, yeah.
And Frank showed up.
Yeah, Vagabond Brothers gig minus a Vagabond Brothers, so it turned into kind of Frank Hannon came and hijacked my gig.
He kind of did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
No, it was fun.
But I love him for it, man. Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, he was your surrogate Vagabond brother for a night.
Yeah. Well, he came in handy. Yeah, it was great.
That was fun. So, I got a nickname for you. I don't know if you like it or not. I call Aaron the Swiss Army knife of rock and roll. Do you like that?
I think that's cool. I can roll with that.
Because you are so multi-talented on so many different things. You're a great bass player, of course.
Thank you.
You're also a very good guitar player.
Thank you.
You sing like a bird.
Thank you.
You probably I bet you anything you play the drums.
I do.
Do you play the keyboards?
I do.
See? You are the Swiss Army knife of music.
Well, thanks, Pat. I'm going to go get a tattoo of that right now, a Swiss Army knife on my shoulder.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. And you could have the blades open, and one can be a bass, and one can be a guitar, and, one can be a drumstick.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea.
You could do that.
I'll have it, written out and put on my skin now.
So currently, you're doing time in a band known as Y&T.
Yes, sir.
Legendary band. You've been in the band about 2 years now.
Yeah, coming on a little over 2 years. Yeah.
So I got to ask you, what's it like being in such a legendary band?
Well, considering I was a fan since I was a kid, 14 years old, and I was listening to Black Tiger and Earthshaker and all those early classics, and then to actually be in the band now, it's like it's surreal. It's a trip. When we were just out on this last tour, and I've done this pretty much. I've done like 4 different tours, Europe and U.S. with them now, and I wake up every day in the hotel, I stare at the ceiling and go, man, I'm in one of my favorite bands of all time, and I get to play today.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. It really is so cool, man. Because like I said, I was a fan when I was a kid. And have you ever seen that movie Rockstar?
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Well, that's my life. Thank you.
Yeah. You were kind of the guy that got to sit in, and now you're in the band.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Y&T is a globally popular band. Why do you think that is, Aaron?
Well, I think that it's an honest music. It's the lyrical content I think resonates with it just resonates, and just Dave Meniketti is just such a badass. That voice, how could you not like that voice and that guitar playing?
Yeah.
And it's crazy that a lot of the bands from that genre, they can't go out and do 2 months at a time on a tour. They do fly-in dates. They'll fly in for a weekend and do a few shows, 3 shows, and then go home because they can't stay on the road to keep the longevity going. Y&T still does it. It's crazy. I thanks to Jill Meniketti, really.
Yeah, she manages the band, right?
Yeah. She's the
glue.
Yeah.
Keeps it all together. Well, the main reason I asked you to come in and join me on the show today, you guys have put out an acoustic EP.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you realize this, you have something very special on your hands. Are you aware of that? Because this EP is fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. When we were out in Europe, we were winding down the tour, and we're driving along, and I was bringing up to the guys, I was saying, hey, it'd be cool to take some of these classic songs and turn them acoustic, since, that's what I do when I get home, is I go out and I play with the Vagabond Brothers and, turn classic songs into acoustic and go play them for people, right? So
right.
I was just thinking, well, apply that to these Y&T songs. We didn't know what songs. We hadn't even really talked about it, but just the idea. And as we got into the studio, I could tell Dave was a little reluctant, because I was already hearing it finished in my head. And the guys, they weren't there yet to hear a finished product. So when we went in and tracked everything, I immediately asked the engineer, give me the tracks, and I'm going to mix these because I'm going to mix my own record. Now, we didn't know who was going to mix it, and I didn't think I was going to mix it, but I ended up mixing the record. Dave just kind of threw it in my lap and said, "It's all yours. Go for it." So, but I'd already done a mix, and I showed the guys, and they were like, "Wow, this sounds really good. We didn't even think we played that great, you know." But it came out great. The tracks were great. I think the song selection is really interesting. So the hardcore fans, they're going to get, Black Tiger, come on, in a way that they've never heard it before. Obviously, we got Summertime Girls on there, big hit, right?
Right.
So, there's a little of everything on there for everybody.
Yeah, and how do you do Ballroom Boogie acoustically? Well, you do it. Yeah, it's a great arrangement.
Yeah. Thanks to Mike Vanderhul for that one. Yeah. He had the brilliant idea for some of those changes in there. But
well, before we talk too much more about this little EP, I want to play a song. And I think this is a very, very special version of Summertime Girls.
Cool.
The arrangement is great. The mixing is great.
Thank you.
You did a great job with that. You hear those nice background harmonies come in. You guys are like angels.
And by the way, that's all done together in a room. Me, Mike, and John sing that together. So we didn't, as you put, like auto tune, and we didn't do any auto tuning because we couldn't, because we were all in the same room together. So everything was bleeding into the mics.
And I'm assuming Dave does the acoustic lead guitar part, the solo.
Yeah.
And listen to how he plays the guitar in this. It has a little bit of a Spanish sort of flair to it.
Yeah.
In a way. And it's a beautiful version. Check this out. This is kind of like an instant classic. This is Y&T, a new acoustic version of Summertime Girls.
Wanna watch the girls go by. Summertime girls.
98 Rock, California's rock station, Flux Capacitor, special edition. Aaron Leigh from Y&T is with me.
Yo.
Magical version right there. I love that. That could be a hit. It could be a renewed sort of thing for Y&T.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that Jill Menichetti is trying to push that. She was talking about some film and movie stuff, that she was going to take some of these acoustic versions and start pitching them to movies and TV shows. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so you mixed this down. It's a little 5-song EP, I guess we'd call it, 6-song EP. And where did you record it?
We went to Santa Cruz to a buddy of mine, Rick Vieira, and he's got a house that's converted into a studio. That's pretty much what people do these days. They convert space to accommodate equipment, and
right.
And he's got top-notch stuff. So anyway, he gave us the bro deal, and we went in and we tracked everything. Like Dave was in a kitchen, Mike was in a bedroom, and I was in a hallway, and but you would never know that, by listening. So, no, the tracks were recorded well enough to mix. So, there you have it.
They sound great. Yeah, so, is the EP available? Where can people buy it yet?
Yeah, it's at yntrocks.com and buy it from the merch store there, or you can come to a show, and we always have them on hand at a show, and we'll probably even sign it for you.
And speaking of shows, I'd love to plug your Thunder Valley gig, but I don't really need to, because it's sold out.
I just got word it's sold out.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. But, for people that missed out on tickets for the Thunder Valley, we are playing the Cargo in Reno Friday, the 13th? Friday the 13th in Reno at the Whitney Peak Hotel. It's located in the Whitney Peak Cargo. And I believe there's still tickets left.
Okay, very good. That's Aaron Leigh from Y&T. Aaron, can you hang out for a little while? And,
absolutely.
Listen to some 80s tunes? And maybe we'll talk again a little bit more about Y&T.
Cool.
All right, back in a moment. Stay right there. 98 Rock, California's rock station. You got Flux Capacitor on a Sunday. I'm Pat Martin. My buddy Aaron Leigh is still hanging about. How's the show sounding so far?
Oh, this is awesome, man. I really appreciate you having me in, Pat. I really appreciate it.
It's good to have you as always. You always do my all-star gigs.
Yeah.
You are a permanent member of the Pat Martin All-Star Band.
I love it, man. And hopefully we can do that again this year.
Yeah, we have fun. I remember the last time we did a gig that you performed at, you had a gig that night with your band, the Vagabond Brothers.
Yeah.
And yet you finished up your gig, you packed up your gear, you hightailed your ass over to our gig, and you even brought a prop. As you sang lead vocal on Surrender, and you brought a prop. Tell everybody what you brought.
I had 2 copies of Kiss Alive, believe it or not.
Right.
I might even have 3, but so there's a lyric in Surrender, get my Kiss records out.
Yeah.
and I turned around and I'd pick it up off the riser and I threw it out because that's what Rick Nielsen does live at the Cheap Trick shows. He always throws a Kiss record out.
How does that part of the song goes? Rock and roll and got my Kiss records out.
Mommy's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you brought out a Kiss album, man.
And the records were still in the sleeve, so whoever got that record got the record. You know, they can go home and play it. You know.
Boy, that's a real trooper right there.
No, man. Hey, go play some Kiss records.
Thanks again for doing all those gigs. They are a blast, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a lot of fun, man.
So your band Y&T has a couple of gigs coming up. We talked about this about an hour ago. Unfortunately, the Thunder Valley gig is sold out.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
That is a great thing.
maybe they'll put us out in the 5,000 seater in a couple years.
Why not?
Work our way up.
You've played there. You've opened for people.
Yeah. We played with Tesla a couple years ago.
Now you did a gig not long ago at the Fillmore. How's that?
Yeah, we did the Fillmore March 24th. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was sold out, and it's always a magical night at the Fillmore. You know, there's just so much history.
Right.
That's graced the stage, you know. So that was the third time I got to play the Fillmore, and, you know, very blessed, man.
Well, that's a legendary hall.
It is, man.
Did you feel the ghosts?
I always feel lucky just to be up there.
Yeah,
you know?
Nice. So you got the Reno gig. I guess there's still tickets for that. Last we heard anyway, they could be gone by now. You never know, but check quick.
Yeah. So as far as I know, you can still get tickets for Cargo and Reno.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck with everything Y&T. Good luck touring the world this year.
Thanks, Pat.
Who knows where you're going to go? You're going to end up in countries all over the world.
Well,
right?
if I can just add, we are going out and supporting Saxon starting in October. If you can check the Y&T website, and you can see the dates for that. We're supporting Saxon in the UK. So another one of my favorite bands. This is just bucket list stuff, man.
Wow, what fun, man. You're living the life, brother.
Yeah, I love it.
Right on. That's Aaron Leigh from Y&T. Thanks again, Aaron.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, Flux Capacitor. We're back in a moment. Stay right there.
Me.